It's the third and final Grand Tour, and it is the Tour of Spain, or the Vuelta a España. Now, Chris Froome is taking a well-earned rest, but nevertheless, this year's Vuelta a España is packed full of climbing talent. So this year's race is really going to be one to watch, and you can keep up with all the race analysis over on our Facebook page, where we'll be doing it daily, and you'll be kept up to date with all the action. Now, without further ado, let's crack on with our top 11 riders to watch in this year's race. The 2010 winner, Vincenzo Nibali, will be here to better his performance on the Tour de France when he unfortunately crashed going up Alpe d'Huez and fracturing vertebrae. He'll be here to primarily prepare for the World Championships, but don't discount him. He did win at Milano-Sanremo, so a stage win in the last week may be very possible. Miguel Angel Lopez, at just 24, has had a formidable year. He has finished 8th overall before in the Vuelta and 3rd in this year's Giro. The 2018 season for the superhuman Lopez will be looking out for stage wins, but don't discount him, because he could surprise you for the overall. Peter Sagan, well, he's on our list because he's Peter Sagan. Since when does Peter Sagan not bring style, animation, and fun to a bike race? Well, I can't think of one. But he'll be primarily here to prepare for the World Championships and to see out his life in the rainbowed bands in style. But that's assuming he doesn't win it for the 4th time. Sepp KUSS has timed his form to perfection, winning 3 stages and the overall over the Tour of Utah. So it will be very interesting to see how his first Grand Tour goes. He'll go into the race as support for George Bennett and Steven Kruijswijk, but clearly has the form to do something himself. Well, if he gets the opportunity. The Yates brothers are coming off the back of another fantastic season. Adam didn't quite replicate what Simon did at this year's Giro, but you cannot take away the results he has achieved in the rest of the season. No doubt they're going to be flamboyant in their attacks, putting others under pressure. They certainly have the climbing and TT kilometers in their legs to help their bid on the way to Madrid. Teo Geoghegan is another Grand Tour debutant, and he's been looking formidable on the big climbs, being the last one to pull off for Sky. So you have to ask how he's going to get on in his first 3-week Grand Tour. Alejandro Valverde in Spain in September, well, in fact, any month of the year, is a very dependable bet of doing something of note. He won't be, in fact, looking for a top 10 on GC, but a lot of the stage finishes do, in fact, really suit him. So look out for a very meaningful attack, hunting down a stage win. Thibaut Pinot is looking to make up for the illness he suffered at the Giro in May. He has been looking really good in the Tour of Prolon, and this will be his 10th Grand Tour he's starting, of which he's only finished 5, but out of those 5, he's finished 16th and better, which isn't too bad. But let's hope for a little less bad luck, because it would be really interesting to see how Thibaut Pinot can get on and be competitive at this year's Vuelta. Richie Porte will be here to reaffirm his intentions as a Grand Tour contender. But if you look back at his track record, it doesn't bode well, as he's only finished twice inside the top 10, but that has been in the support of other team leaders. But is this the last time for Richie Porte to show himself as a Grand Tour contender? I mean, the jury's out on that one. NAIRO Quintana has only finished twice outside the top 10 in previous Grand Tours, but he is a little lighter on top results in 2018. But that, of course, could change over the course of La Vuelta, not forgetting that formidable performance on stage 17 of this year's tour. The stage 20 of this year's Vuelta could, of course, eclipse that with the amount of climbing, so we could, of course, see a big attack from NAIRO hunting for the win. ELIA Viviani is coming to the Vuelta off the back of 15 wins. He is heading a formidable Quick-Step Floors team and will be hunting those flat sprint stages. Coming just off the back of his big win in Hamburg at the Euro Eyes Cycle Classics, he is definitely going to be one to watch in the sprint stages. As ever, we have probably missed out some of your favourites. So if you think there are riders that we haven't mentioned are going to shine, then do put them in the comments below. Now, if you haven't seen our preview to the Vuelta that Dan, Si and I did, then go check out that over here. And if you want to get yourself one of these t-shirts, then check out the shop just up here.